Hi, I'm Amy Roman. In this video, I'll guide you through setting up switch scanning in AlphaCore. We will look at what scanning is and who can benefit from it, two keyboards in AlphaCore that work well for scanning, and how to set up scanning options that are tailored for individuals with muscle weakness. We will also look at how to control your computer and navigate the web with scanning. Switch scanning is a selection method that people often use if they're not able to use other alternative access methods such as eye tracking to control their speech device and computer. Some people also shift to scanning during the day when they have become too fatigued to use another method. Scanning requires a reliable movement that can be quite small to activate a switch. There are dozens of switches available, and they can be creatively positioned to allow activation by various parts of the body. For those unable to generate any movement, scanning can also be performed using an EMG or brain activity switch. For people experiencing muscle weakness, the least fatiguing scanning style is automatic row column scanning using a single switch. This method minimizes effort by allowing the device to do most of the work by sequentially highlighting options on the screen. Here's how it works. I'm going to use scanning to type the word dog. The device highlights rows one by one. When the desired row is highlighted, you activate your switch. The device then highlights the columns within the selected row. When the desired column is highlighted, you activate your switch again. The scanning speed can be adjusted so you have enough time to activate your switch. Setting up scanning. A helper will be required for this initial setup, but once completed, the user will be able to independently change the scanning speed and even alternate back and forth between scanning and another access method they're using. Begin by making sure the switch is positioned so the user can easily activate it. Otherwise, he or she won't be able to control the device once scanning is enabled. Now, plug the switch into switch port 1, usually located on the back or side of your speech device and labeled with a 1. Keyboard selection. Though any keyboard in AlphaCore can be accessed through scanning, there are two that work best. The AEIOU keyboard works fine for scanning, and since it's in alphabetical order, does not take much practice. For faster communication, select the frequency scanning keyboard. This keyboard is specifically designed to make scanning efficient and places the buttons and keys you need most frequently in the top left of the keyboard for fastest access. The letters you will encounter most quickly during the scanning on this keyboard are letters that commonly appear in the first 1 to 3 characters of a word. You should not need to type more than that for most words to appear in word prediction. To choose a keyboard, navigate to AlphaCore Settings, represented by the wrench. You will find a link to settings on your keyboard or on the Topics and Tools page. Select Settings, then change Keyboard. Use the arrow on the right until you find the keyboard you want to use. You can come back to settings anytime if you want to change keyboards. Configure scanning settings. Access the Mind Express menu. Then go into Settings and choose Access. Change the current access method to scanning. If you intend to use scanning exclusively, set it as the startup access method too. Now select Scanning in the left column to set up the scanning parameters. We will keep the default scanning pattern as row column. Under Scanning Settings, change the scanning method to Automatic. Adjust the advance time to 1.5 seconds while you're learning. This setting controls how quickly the scan moves from highlighting one item to the next. Now scroll down a little and find Return after several rounds and change it to 2. This gives you another chance if you miss the item you wanted to select the first time. Next, you will scroll to Pause Scanning, find After several rounds and toggle it on. Lastly, you will scroll to the Select heading and find Use Mouse when scanning. Toggle that on. The rest of the parameters can typically remain at their default settings, so select OK. Try out scanning. Now practice using scanning. Activate your switch once to start the scan. Use your switch to navigate to the keyboard if you're not already there, and type your full name. Initially, it's normal to miss the desired row or column a few times. Adjusting advance time. As you become more comfortable with scanning, you might want to adjust the scanning speed. To do this, go to Settings, and then Access Settings, and make the necessary adjustments to suit your pace. Once you are comfortable with scanning, try computer control. Users can do anything on a computer using scanning that can be done with a mouse and keyboard. Once scanning is selected, a computer control button with a picture of a red switch will appear on the Topics and Tools page. If scanning is turned on but you don't see this button, go into AlphaCore Settings, select Change Access Method, and then confirm that you do want to change access. Scanning will already be selected, so just choose Go Back. Now the Scanning Computer Control button will appear on the Topics and Tools page going forward. Select this button and confirm to open an on-screen keyboard. To try out controlling your computer with scanning, let's purchase a speaker on Amazon. To double-click on a browser, I select the mouse menu. The first row of buttons in the mouse menu enables you to move your mouse. The second row provides mouse click options, and the third enables you to scroll. I'm going to select the radar mouse button and click when the line sweeping the screen touches my target, and again when the mouse pointer does. To double-click on my browser, I select the double-click button in the second row. I want to open Amazon, which is in the bottom left quadrant of my screen, so I will select the radar mouse with the bottom left quadrant shaded in. Then I will select a single mouse click to open it. Now I need to drop my cursor in the Amazon search window. To do this, I will activate Radar Mouse to target the search window and select a single left click to put my cursor in the search window. Once I see the flashing cursor in the search window, I can type the word speaker. I will select Go Back to navigate to the keyboard to type the word. If at any point my on-screen keyboard is in the way, I can select the Minimize button to minimize it, or move it with the Move Keyboard button. Once I begin typing, Speaker appears in the drop-down menu. I can again use Radar Mouse and a single left click to select it. Now I want to scroll until I find what I want. And select it using Radar Mouse and a single left click. When I'm ready to go back to my communication pages, I select Go Back to get back to my keyboard and select Back to AlphaCore. I hope this video was helpful. Enjoy using AlphaCore and remember that with practice, switch scanning can become highly efficient.